My view on freedom of speech is that if you want to be racist, but I don't want to associate with you.
Yeah, I
Like,
don't want to
it's
eat
your
chicken
free
wings with
speech to
you.
say whatever you think, and people's free speech to say whatever they think back, and that's how it's supposed to work. But
Right,
I
like,
don't want
I
to
get
hang
to
out
exercise
and like
that, yeah.
make these kind of jokes with you and like associate myself. It's not something that I'm interested in. That's not my point of view. It like crosses a principle threshold, right? So
Right.
everything doesn't cross the principle threshold. And I think people lose sight
Right.
of that because everything has become a litmus test for like whether you're left or whether you're right in the age of Trump. And I don't think
Or
Trump is
one
the
or
cause
the
of
other
that.
enough.
Right, you're right.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And we see it in every way. Like right now we're kind of seeing it on the left between like Hakeem Jeffries and Zohar Mamdani and whatever they might have differences on, whether or not you are or are not sufficiently whatever they determine. And you see this on the right, they call people rhinos or whatever if they disagree, but it's like, dude, we agree on like 90% of things.
Yeah.
Like, let's figure out how to disagree and move on the other 10%. But there are some things, rightfully, I think that like they cross that principal threshold. So I just don't want to be involved with. But beyond that, I think you should be able to move forward and be like, okay, we don't agree on those things. That's cool.
Yeah.
And let's figure out where we do agree and get things done. And even if there were things that cross the principal threshold, this is how I view it. If you're a politician and you work in Congress, there's only so many seats. You have to form coalitions to get things done. And so you may end up finding that you agree with someone who you might hate the person. You might find everything they say disgusting.
Right.
But like you need the vote. So why
Right.
wouldn't you take the win on something you do
Well, 'cause
agree on?
it's going to help you deliver for the people you're elected to represent. So like,
Right. That's my view on
Yeah,
it. So
I get it.
think
No, I get
when
it.
it comes to those things, like we can have a conversation and then we can go back to not associating with each other
right, then we
on a
don't
social level. But if we have to get something done for the community, I think it's worthwhile to like get past our own egos
Yeah.
and get that thing done,
Yeah.
but not compromise on the other things that we find to be like existential or cross that principal threshold.
So the interesting thing about Albany, kind of as like a microcosm, right, is that although Albany County has more pockets of red, right, or like purple, as you go further out into like the rural areas surrounding it, the city of Albany is blue,
Right.
real blue. And so like it's interesting because I think that a lot of the conversations we have had is around some of the stuff that's gone on in the Democratic Party and like some of that establishment versus like whatever
Everybody else.
poor underdog's gonna try to take them on and what that means and how that functions. And I'm excited to dive into it in both areas where it is like, you know, how do we work with people who are like diametrically opposed to us, like Democrats, Republicans, whatever. But also like how do we address this like inner party fighting that is going on, that is making us lose.
Yeah.
I've never seen people want to lose so bad.
The reality, my view is that there shouldn't be just two parties, right? And I think this is beyond a partisan divide. But I think with my larger point is, I guess, is within those parties, there's multiple different. This would be the caucuses, and
Yeah.
you know, there's different groups with different interests under the umbrellas of Democrat and Republican. And I think if you view it like that, then like people will say, oh, the Democrats are in a civil war or the Republicans are in a civil war. And it's like, no, they're just really big tents on both sides that have people with competing views and they have to figure out what they want the party overall to run with.